Hey guys, welcome back. We are now into the grand finals of the Perfect World Masters between Newbee and VG Gaming. This is going to be a best of 5, so we're going to have quite a few draft analysis going up ahead. Okay, now moving into game 1. For those who don't know me, I'm Ace, and right now I'm going to be doing a draft analysis of the grand finals between Newbee and VG Gaming. Okay, so game 1, Newbee have first pick, and they ban away Elder Titan, Bane, as well as Shadow Demon. Okay, these are, apart from the Elder Titan, which is something new, the Bane and Shadow Demon has been two of the strongest supports in this meta as position 5. And the Elder Titan is something that VG Gaming is very comfortable with on Lanham. And they do play on the offlane once in a while, I think. But mainly it's going to be on Lanham. So this is a very targeted ban, and Newbee is a team that they really study their opponent, and somehow because these both teams are from China, they know each other very well. They probably scrim with each other pretty much as well. And the Newbee is a team that they ban very specifically towards their opponent. I think in the series against LFY yesterday, they understand that Super was their, how should I say, Super was the crux to LFY's draft, and they just focused all their bans on him. So they targeted ban against Super, and they were able to take the series against LFY. So similarly in this grand final series, I think we're going to see a lot of targeted bans by Newbee. VG on the other hand, they ban away Omni Knight, Razor, as well as Tidehunter. These are also very specific bans towards Newbee. They really like the Tidehunter on KP, the Omni Knight. I believe Omni Knight can be played by both sides on their offlaner. Both 11 as well as KP are very comfortable on it, but just because Newbee have the first pick, and I think VG Gaming don't want to go up against it, they decided to just remove it first of all. I'm very sure if VG Gaming has the first pick, they wouldn't be banning it, because they have the option to pick it first. And with the first pick, Newbee, they go for this Ogre Magi. So VG is a team that really Lanham likes to pick Undying or Ogre Magi for himself. So in this case, Newbee decide that they would rather have the Ogre Magi and give the Undying over to VG Gaming. And VG Gaming, they pick up the Undying, and they decide to go for Witch Doctor on Fenrir. So this is going to be a position 4 Undying and a position 5 Witch Doctor for Fenrir. We don't really see a position 4 Undying just because he's not really a hero that utilizes farm very well. But I mentioned it once in my previous draft analysis that VG Gaming is a team that they don't really have the hierarchy of a position 4 and position 5. Lanham and Fenrir, they are more of like both 4.5 rather than more straightforward 4 and 5 like GH and Koroki or Yapso and Papi, where the farm priority is very obvious, where GH is definitely the one with the more farm, the position 4, and whereas Koroki is always with the position 5. But for Lanham and Fenrir, they are the more 4.5ish, so it doesn't matter. They don't really care about like who is the farm priority, but it's more of who can use the farm better. So in this case, I think both heroes use the farm at about the same amount of, how should I say, the impact that they get from farm is about the same. Witch Doctor, he can definitely get his Demon Cape, the 4 staffs, and even Aghanim Setter if he can reach there. Undying with Aghanim is also really strong with his decay stacks. So yeah, however the go games according to them, they can use the farm definitely. Newbee on the other hand, they go back for the Gyrocopter, and this is a very interesting pick, but I believe we have been seeing more and more Gyrocopter first of all, and it's a very strong carry pick against Undying. Back in the days where, like way back 1-2 years ago, when Undying was considered a stable pick, we always see Gyrocopter picked as an answer to it just because of Flat Cannon. Like you want to take down the Tombstone straight away, and yet at the same time Gyrocopter, he can take down the Tombstone while doing damage to the rest of the team around the Tombstone, which is a very powerful tool to deal with Undying. And we have been seeing a lot of Gyrocopter recently just because of his talents and his ability to actually keep up in farm. He's actually able to farm extremely well, and we always see that the Gyrocopter is being the top net worth all the time in the matches that I have noticed. So yeah, it's probably one of the up and coming carries in this patch 7.07, I would say. Newbee ban away the Lifestealer and Brewmaster. Brewmaster is a very strong position 3 hero, I would say, off lane. And Lifestealer, I understand that it's I'm not exactly sure like why the Lifestealer ban. It's a good hero against Gyro just because if like a gyro cannot man fight a lifestealer most of the time unless he outfarms him by a lot. But it's probably just carry that Newbee doesn't want to deal with. Maybe something along the line of what they plan to pick for their offlaner. Maybe they're planning to go for a Bat Rider or something like that. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it goes. And for VG Gaming, they ban away Phoenix as well as Puck. KP's Puck has been very well known, and Phoenix is a hero that I think Faith or Kaka plays it a lot. Faith is probably the Ogre Magi here, and yeah, they like to play Kaka on the Phoenix, and it's very strong together with Gyro because when everyone's trying to focus the egg, they group up together, and that's when Call Down plus Flat Cannon is going to do crazy amount of damage. VG Gaming, they go back for 11's Beastmaster. I believe 11's Beastmaster was one of the Beastmaster I saw in 7.7 where he actually was amazing at it. He just dominated the map with a lifestealer with it. So maybe Newbee expected this to come out from VG Gaming and they didn't want the Beastmaster lifestealer combo, which is why I mentioned that initially I couldn't tell why they wanted to ban this lifestealer, but thinking back on the game where actually VG Gaming dominated, I think it was Dota Pit Minor where 7.07 just came out. VG Gaming used this Beastmaster lifestealer combo and they just dominated the map. Beastmaster had Boots of Travel and he just BTs to his Hawk, and then the lifestealer infested in him and they just killed everybody. They literally just put pressure on every part of the map. As long as the Hawk scouted somebody, he just TP'd and the target is like almost dead all the time. So this is a very similar concept with the Beastmaster, and which also explained why the lifestealer was banned by Newbee Gaming. I think they already expected this. So Beastmaster, a very strong 11th hero on the off lane. We'll like to see what kind of impact he's going to have. And Newbee, they decide not to wait, they just go straight for the SCCC's Queen of Pain, a hero that like people have been banning against SCCC for quite a long time. It's known to be one of his most classic hero, his strongest hero. Against the lineup of VG Gaming, I wouldn't say Queen of Pain is a super easy game though. Like Beastmaster's Raw is very strong against Queen of Pain. Like when you play a Queen of Pain, you want to have the freedom to be able to blink in, burst out your damage and get out alive. But when you have to jump into a Witch Doctor cast or Beastmaster Raw, and then you'll just get bursted down instantly, it's your room for error on a hero like Queen of Pain is actually very low. So that's one thing I'm going to be quite afraid for SCCC. He probably will have to build a Lincoln's or BKB this game. VG Gaming, they go straight for the Tinker, knowing their matchup against the Queen of Pain already. And right now, Newbee doesn't really have a proper catch against the Tinker. They don't have a Clockwork, they don't have a Night Stalker. They already picked their carry, so even if the case like they want to go back for a Spectre or something like that, which we almost don't see, or even a Storm Spirit for SCCC, it's very unlikely now because of the Queen of Pain is most likely going to be SCCC's hero, and we don't see anyone else playing the Storm Spirit. They can still switch up KP on the Queen of Pain, but I think it'll be a very weak lineup because they'll be very susceptible to like the Beastmaster Raw and Witch Doctor and everything. So yeah, this Tinker right now he's having quite a free game, I would say. He doesn't have anything that can close him down or put pressure on him. And yeah, Newbee, they go back for this Bat Rider. Something that I mentioned when I saw the Lifestealer ban, just because Lifestealer is also very strong against Bat Rider in the lane, and I mentioned that they didn't have a catch for Tinker. So now with this Bat Rider, that is their catch. They have a Bat Rider catch on the Tinker. The only downside about that is the Beastmaster Hawk is able to scout out Bat Rider's movement, and it's going to make it very difficult for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see a like third or fourth item Shadow Blade by the Bat Rider, just to help him initiate even better against the Tinker. The Bat Rider's job this game in the mid game onwards is just to hunt down this Tinker in every fight, I would say. He's probably going to need a Blink for stuff, maybe BKB. He could even skip the BKB and go for Shadow Blade, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And VG Gaming, they banned the Nyx Assassin. Nyx is a very strong position 4 hero that is good against Tinker. Like in the early game, if you're roaming, you can just go and mana burn him, they do a lot of damage. Or in the team fights, like when he march off the machines, you can just spike Carapace and set up a stun onto him. So that's a very reasonable ban by VG Gaming. And Newbee, on the other hand, they need to ban a Paparazzi hero here. I would say... Okay, so they ban out the Slug. They understand that their lineup lacks lockdown. They only got Barrel Lasso as well as Ogre Magi stun. I don't consider gyrocopters, homing missile a proper stun. And yeah, I mentioned they need a lockdown, so Clockwork. So this Bat Rider and Clockwork pick is definitely an answer to the Tinker itself. And not only that, Clockwork is very good against Witch Doctor as well. Like, if a Witch Doctor wants to channel his ultimate, Clockwork can always find an angle to hookshot him to cancel it. And basically is the one of the better if not best version 4 counters to a Tinker. And VG Gaming, they go back for this Weaver, the lane matchup counter to the Bat Rider. So this Bat Rider is not going to have an easy lane at all. It's going to be very tough for him. I actually quite like VG Gaming's lineup. As I mentioned, they collect a lockdown on Weaver. Once Weaver gets his Lincoln Sphere, they're not going to be able to lasso him. Queen of Pain is probably going to need to build some defensive item, or he wants an Orchid against the Weaver, but he's going to need a defensive item against Beastmaster like Lincoln Sphere. So I think Newbee really need to prioritize a lot of farm priority on this Queen of Pain. They're probably going to help Ogre, going to help him in the mid lane for a while, as well as the Clockwork. But they also need to be careful of not giving 11's Beastmaster a good lane, because if he has a good lane, he'll just snowball and create a lot of pressure on the map. Not forgetting that right now VG Gaming has this Tinker plus Beastmaster combo, where the Tinker can always just put of travel to the Hawk and join almost any fight that VG Gaming is planning to have. So right now VG Gaming has the potential to put up a lot of pressure on the map, and they'll force Newbee to actually play very closely together. I would say both teams have answers to each other, but overall I just like VG's Gaming's lineup. I think they are they synergize very well, and I mentioned it quite a few times as well. I think that Lanham is one of the best drafters out there right now, at least in 7.07 from the games I watched. His draft has always been on point. Very seldom he will see him losing a draft, and I would say this draft again, it's probably really close, but maybe like 55-45 to VG, or even like 52-48. That being said, a lot of this, since the draft is so even, a lot of this is going to come down to execution, and we'll have to see which team is going to execute better. But just based on drafts alone, I'm going to slightly favor VG Gaming here. Alright guys, thanks for watching Game 1's draft analysis. I'll be back for Game 2, and thanks for watching.